Let's talk about Malcom and let's talk about his situation. Let's talk about what needs to change so that he doesn't become a Yerry Mina 2.0, an Andre Gomez 3.0, or a Chegrinsky like 16.0. Because oh my god, that have happened so many times now with Barcelona players. And hopefully Malcom doesn't fall into that same category. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Before starting off, I gotta ask you to drop us a like and leave us a subscribe. Turn on the bell notification icon and follow us on all other social media to keep up to date. But now, you get the deal, you know the drill, so let's get right into it. So, right away, why do I make this video? Well, I make this video because Malcom has been left out of the Barcelona squad again. And I'm saying like again because he has been left out already like what, 5 times, or even more, like 6. Ernesto Valverde has named his 20-man squad to face Tottenham in the Champions League, but there was no place for Malcom apparently on it. And in this case, it seems that Malcom just doesn't fit into that, even though we had some very big players missing, like Samuel Umtiti, which is going to be absent from the squad due to suspension, although the France defender is unavailable anyway because he was already injured. Sergi Roberto is another major omission after he sustained a thigh injury, as we know, in Saturday's 1-1 draw in La Liga against Atletico Bilbao. With all of that being mentioned, I'm just still surprised how Malcom is still not making the cut. Normally in any competition, in any Champions League, World Cup, or anything, you at least have, as we know, 7 substitutes, or you have at least in the squad, you have 2 of each position. But taking into account that Barcelona don't have any other right back and we don't have any other extra center back, it's still surprising how people, for instance, like Piqué, Lenglet, and Vermeulen are all making the cut on our Barcelona squad, even if Umtiti was not injured. It's just impressive. We're taking another center back that is never going to have the slightest of chances to come into the game, and we have someone like Malcom sitting back and relaxing just on the bench. You know, we need to have him on the squad, a player that can change stuff, a player who can have an impact and create reaction on a team right now like Barcelona, who desperately need it. We saw that reaction, like I said, against Bilbao. We saw that reaction perhaps after the game with the comments of Valverde, with the comments of Suarez, with Messi. We've seen all of that happening, but in the pitch we still are lacking that. And someone like Malcom could just do something like that. He's another attacking player. He's someone that for Bordeaux was the main star of their team. Hence, it was just Bordeaux from Ligue 1. But still, we're talking about a player that has plenty of talent. We're talking about a player who is just sitting on the bench, rotting. And it's not our fault. It's actually also not Valverde's fault either. But it's the fault of the people above that make decisions without consulting the manager, that makes decisions without having a, first of all, a future long-term plan. And that's why right now we're suffering in cases like this, where we need to incorporate new players, where we need to act from reactions, when we need to like leave players like Malcom running on the bench. Are you kidding me? He will be a starter in like half of the other teams in the Champions League right now. Like we talk Roma, boom, starter. We talk like a team, for instance, like Spurs, he could even be a starter. He's much better than Lucas Moura. We talk about a team like Bayern. He could be a starter at Bayern, to be honest, taking account that Robben is now like, what, 40,000 years old. He will start there, Malcom, and it's just impressive that he's just running on the bench. What makes me really confused right now is that we have, for instance, Barcelona now trusting on someone like Munir, trusting on a player that last season was completely invisible for us, a player that we just chipped out because we thought it was going to be the best for us and we just not need to pay his salary. Just say, go now, go to Deportivo Alavés. And we're putting now Munir in front of a player who had demonstrated time and time again what he has done before at the Bordeaux. And it's just completely crazy because we're going, one day we do one thing and then the next we just completely go and do the complete opposite. It's things like this that I really don't understand, and this is not a critique to Ernesto Valverde. For instance, some people thinking that I'm just criticizing because he's not starting Malcom. This is more of like a critique to like the sport of directors and all of that, because like I said before, they need to consult the manager first. If he doesn't need Malcom, then just don't get Malcom. If he wants a striker, if he wants to keep Paco Alcácer, let him keep. Paco Alcácer. It's stuff like this that really don't make much sense, and that's why I was trying to explain to you, for many of you, in the transfer window where we were between Malcom and Willian. For instance, some of you were saying that, oh, we need to get Willian. But yeah, Willian would come here to Barcelona, but he will be in the same situation as Malcom. And trust me, that would have made so much noise that what Malcom is making right now. Malcom right now, to be honest, is completely silent. I hasn't heard of him anything on the news. You don't see the reporters asking Valverde, what's going on? Why are you not picking Malcom? It's stuff like that. I'm just wondering what's going on. There must be something that he's not asking Malcom. Perhaps he's not working as hard. Perhaps he has something outside the pitch we don't know about. Many different things can be just involved into why Malcom is not being selected, but the main reason here, the main critique, has to go once again, like I said, to the sporting of directors. Those are the people that we need to look at and really stress, what are you doing? Because I'm of the person that the sporting director needs to consult the manager. They need to talk about, the manager may say, for instance, I want these profiles of players, try and get me these profiles of players. It's stuff like that that I believe makes a good club. What I think right now is that Erika Vidal and Ramon Planas are most of the time just making decisions without thinking on Valverde. Barcelona has stressed before, they post a video where all the sporting of directors join together and there's Valverde, and the only one fucking not smiling at all is Valverde. And that's something that I do not like to see in my club. I want to see a club where everybody is united. For one side, we have Valverde and the players that I feel that they are together. They're a really good unit. But then I feel the sporting of directors on another scale. Bartomeu may believe and trust on Valverde. I do so believe that Bartomeu wants Valverde to stay. I really think that's what he wants. But then we have people like Vidal, like Ramon Planas, that just the decisions they're making, I don't feel there's an understanding between, like I said, Valverde and those two individuals. We see that time and time again that can really create a complete destruction on the club. We take a look at Chelsea from Abramovich when Mourinho was there, and consequently now again we have Mourinho in Manchester United when him and Ed Woodward just doesn't even speak. We're talking about Manchester United that didn't let Mourinho buy a single fucking player this window, just Fred, because they made contacts before the transfer window started. So I don't want Barcelona to go down this route. We need to have the manager and sporting of directors understanding both what they want. And if Valverde really doesn't need a forward, well, just don't give him a forward. We don't need to sign players every single window. And this then not only creates problems for the player itself like Malcom, but also creates problems for the manager, because now he has to manage more egos, more players, more stuff that he really doesn't need. And I just get the sense at the end that players like Rafinha, Denis Suarez, Munir, Malcom will be included. Yes, they will play, but it will be so little game time that will not make any matter at all. And that's why we're not seeing improvement. That's why people ask, oh, we need to bring people from La Cantera. And I'm like, yeah, but how the hell are they gonna fucking play? Like, we can bring on players from La Cantera, but they're gonna play like one game, another one, and another one. Why people like Xavi, Iniesta, Messi were able to come through, break through the squad, is because we gave game time to those players. If we don't believe in young players that they can progress, become better, then they're never gonna be that. We now have a player like Malcom sitting on the bench, where right now, I'm telling you, right now, if he was at Roma, he will be doing so much better than what he's doing right now at Barcelona. And yes, it's good, we have that talent on our bench, but that player is not gonna get anywhere. And if we don't believe, we don't give game time, then that's what's gonna happen. The best teams, the best structures I've seen in football has been when a team knows exactly what they're playing at. And they have, for instance, a striker and a substitute for that striker. They got a right winger, a substitute for that right winger. They got a right back and they have a substitute for that right back. They have one for every single position. They got a starter, they got a substitute. But the problem before having that, you need to know exactly what you're playing at. And this all comes back to the planning and all that I've been saying throughout this video. We need to have, once again, this plan of what we want to do, getting a young manager after Valverde. Let him finish, because Valverde hasn't done bad, to be honest. Let him finish with a philosophy. Tell Malcom that this season it may not gonna work, but the next one, or after that, if Valverde renews or whatever, just start planning ahead. But keep him for now, and just in your head, the board upstairs should be already drafting a plan of what they want to do for not the next year, but for the next 10 years. And that's how we will progress. That's how we will keep a Barcelona steady like the one Guardiola had. That's why Guardiola was so effective, because he was already inside Barcelona. He may have in his head exactly what he had as a plan for the next 5 years or all the period he was at Barcelona. That's why it's successful. That's why teams, for instance, like Juventus with Maximiliano Allegri, are working perfectly. That's why Cholo Simeone at Atletico Madrid, for instance, perhaps not be winning anything because they don't have the money to do so, but they're keeping stable. Who were Atletico Madrid before Simeone? Can somebody tell me? They were absolutely nowhere to be seen. And this guy put himself, they got a plan, and it's working absolutely wonderful. And look at where they're now. Look at their squad compared to when they start before Simeone. That's a plan. That's how you get a team working, and that's how you see people like Malcom succeed. This is the only real way that we can let Malcom not become a Yerry Mina 2.0, because like I said, if he continues like this, if Barcelona follow down this path, we're just gonna get rid of some players like Denis Suarez, like Malcom, like Rafinha, that at the end of the day, they're never gonna play.